welcome back to my channel. My name is Katrice, also known as Ebony, and today we're going to be doing a story time video. As you can tell by the title of the time I got arrested. Yes, your girl was arrested once. I know it's hard to believe. But yes, I was arrested one time before. Before I get into this video, I do want to let you know I will be doing it kind of like a get ready with me style. I am doing my makeup in order to film another video, but I did want to go ahead and do a story time for you all. And before we get started with the actual story time, go ahead and hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you're able to see when I upload any other videos in the future, like another story time or get ready with me or a vlog or, you know, anything like that. So without further ado, let's get into the story time. So if you don't know me for real, like personally, you wouldn't know that I am an angel. People love me. I don't get in trouble often. If I do get in trouble, it's probably for something very simple, or something that like was out of my control, whatever. Like I never got kicked out of school. I never got expelled, never had detention. I don't think I ever been written up. I don't think I never did. Like I just wasn't the type of person that was into getting in trouble. I was really all about my schoolwork. I played sports, I cheered and everything like that. Even in college, I never got caught in college doing anything bad. Well, no, it was one time. That'll probably be a whole nother story time. But one time I got caught at a kickback. But again, I wasn't doing nothing. I was just there, you know. So this was back in college, actually, when I got arrested. I had just bought a car. It was our first car ever. Little Delilah. I love Delilah. I miss Delilah. But little Delilah, I bought her for a couple $1,000s, and I was just, you know, driving her around, getting my mileage in, even though she was already past the 200,000 mile marker or whatever. But I had gotten a ticket on campus for what I had gotten a ticket for. I think it was for a stop sign. So I didn't I did a rolling stop on campus. And if you know Savannah State campus, there's a stop sign right in front of the Ville. Nobody ever stops. They just look to see if a car is coming. It was a one-way at the time, so you just look to see if a car coming, you keep it moving. But I kind of did, like, I stopped, but I didn't stop with a, you know how you're supposed to stop so you hit a little jerk. I didn't stop that far. I just stopped. It was a yield. I did a yield. So I did a little yield. I didn't even get past the daggone gym. Police, whoop whoop, right behind me. Stop me. So I'm like, whatever. Let me see what they stopping me for. So the police officer like, ma'am, you just did a rolling stop. You did not stop at the stop sign. I'm just like, I'm not the type to argue with the police. I'm just like, I'm sorry, sir. License and registration here. Here you go. Gave it to him. Cool. Wrote me a ticket. I didn't even look at the ticket. I signed the ticket, put the ticket up, whatever. So, I was supposed to go to court. Like, I was supposed to have a court day or whatever for that ticket. So, on the day of when my court date was, they couldn't find my name on the docket. They was like, oh, you don't have a court date. Well, you're not even in the system. Can't find you. You're good to go. Don't worry about it. Everything's straight. So I'm cheering for joy. This is literally months later, maybe like 2 months later. I'm cheering for joy. Just ride around the city, whatever. So come November, it's Thanksgiving time. I go home for Thanksgiving every year. I go home for Thanksgiving, and I got my hair done the Friday after Thanksgiving. I went and got my hair done for my girl Cassandra, Miss Dee Dee at Urban Bella Salon. It wasn't called Urban Bella Salon at the time, but I don't think it was. But I went and got my hair done by her. After I got my hair done, I was getting on the road going straight to Savannah. So it was me and my sister Kayla. We were in the car, and we were headed to Savannah. we went and got food from Zacadoo's, which was down the street from the hair salon in Valdosta. Went and got Zacadoo's, pulled out of Zacadoo's, was headed to the left down Bay Tree. Y'all, I kid you not. Soon as I pulled out of Zacadoo's, I looked down at my plate. I looked up. A car is getting into the turning lane that I'm already in, trying to get over. So I kind of swerved out their way, but it was oncoming traffic, so I had to swerve back into my lane. Y'all, we basically had like a fender bender. The side of that car was scraped. My car was fine because my car was a little hoopty, so nothing really phased my car. So get out of the car, you know, we exchange insurance information, call the police, we move over to a little parking lot. So police pull up, they checking the scene, police officer getting his car, I guess run our IDs and stuff. And we just sitting there for a couple minutes. I'm on the phone with my boyfriend at the time. We just talking. And then another officer pull up. So I'm just like, okay, you know, routine. It is what it is. Y'all, soon as the other officer pulled up, they both walked up to me. And I got my boyfriend on speaker. And they're like, ma'am, can you get off the phone? I was like, yeah, sure. So I put my phone down, but I didn't hang up. He was like, no, you need to hang up the phone. And I was like, okay. So I hung up the phone. And he was like, turn around, ma'am. I was like, for what? He was like, you're under arrest. You have a warrant out for your arrest. You failed to appear in court. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, hey, and they was like, yes, ma'am. Turn around. Put your then they started getting aggressive. And I was like, sir, like legit. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't have court. I called court. They said I didn't have court. And he's like, ma'am, turn around. Da, da, da. They getting real aggressive. So I yelled to my sister. I'm like, sis. Y'all, I was boo-hoo crying. The people in the other car, they was like, oh my gosh, she getting arrested. What kind of girl is this? Like, who just hit our car type thing? Y'all, I got arrested. So I'm in the back of the cop car, boo-hoo crying like a little baby, like hair fresh, crying. The back of a police car is so uncomfortable. Those seats are like plastic. You sliding back and forth, like there's no way for you to even sit up. You literally gotta ride like this with your hands behind your back. I wasn't in pain, but it was very uncomfortable riding in the back of that car. And the police officer first of all, it was a black cop and a white cop. The black cop was the one being rude and aggressive. The white cop was really nice to me. He seemed like he was a little younger. He was just like, man, what happened? Like, why didn't you go to court? And I was like, sir, I promise you, I called the court on my court date. It was like, I was good. They couldn't find me in the system. Da, 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 da. And he was like, oh, you should be fine then, but we did have to bring you in because it was a warrant out for your arrest. And I was like, I understand. I just don't know how this happened. Just explain to him. But they don't really give up. They just doing their job. So get to the daggone station. And I had to strip. I had to put on a jumpsuit. But before you put on your jumpsuit, they make you do the little cough test. You have to make sure you ain't got nothing in your butt crack and your booty holes. And they make you take off all your clothes. So did that. Put on my little orange jumpsuit. Went in the holding cell. Still crying. Well, not crying, but I'm still like scared. Y'all, it was some men in the holding cell yelling, hey, get me out of here. So that made it even more scary for me. I was just like, oh my gosh, I hope nothing pop off, I hope it ain't a riot. Like, just thinking the worst thing about all these jail movies I saw and how they be getting out of jail and killing the guards and all this other stuff. Like, I was scared. I was scared. So, they were just like, hey, if you want to call somebody, you can call somebody. Y'all, all this time I'm thinking I only get one phone call. I was thinking I get one phone call. So the first time I called my mom. The service, they was already in the lobby, so they didn't have any service, so they weren't getting any, like, it was legit going straight to voicemail. Call my sister, straight to voicemail. Call my granddaddy, straight to voicemail. Call my boyfriend, straight to voicemail. I was just like, bro, I'm finna be stuck in here. And it was a Friday night. Y'all know when you go in on a Friday, you usually don't get out till Monday. It was a Friday night. So I'm like, bro, I got school on Monday. Why am I thinking about school? In jail. Why am I thinking about school? But yeah, I'm like, bro, I'm finna be stuck in jail. Like, who gonna bail me out? How am I gonna get out of here type thing? I think I sat in a jailhouse maybe like an hour or two. It was probably like an hour or two before I was released. And first of all, I had on jewelry. I was missing jewelry by the time I got out. Like, they lost my jewelry. Even though it was fake, I was still wanting it. They had lost all my jewelry, not all of them, just a couple rings and a necklace. Got out. Come to find out, my boyfriend and my mom called the same bail bondsman for me to get out. And I guess because they were so quick, they were able to bail me out quick. And you know, Valdosta is small, so that might be the reason why maybe they didn't have a lot of people to bail out that weekend. I don't know. By the grace of God, I got out on Friday within an hour or two. But afterwards, I did have to check in because I guess I was out of the city. I still had to check in with my bail bondsman every week. So every Tuesday, I believe that was the day, I had to call my bail bondsman and just be like, hey, I'm checking in. And this is the funny part. I was in the tutoring hall in school, and I didn't tell my best friend I had got arrested. Well, I don't know if she was my best friend at the time, but we were friends at the time. I didn't tell her I had got arrested. So when I said I was checking in, I hung up. She was like, who was you calling? And I was like, I had to call my bail bondsman. She was like, bail bondsman? Why you got a bail bondsman? I said, oh, I went to jail over the weekend. She was like, said, stop lying. And I was like, I'm so serious. And she was like, you did not go to jail. And I was like, I definitely went to jail. She was like, Ebony, stop lying. Like, that's how you know I don't do nothing. Because I told like 3 people that week, and it was just like, girl, why is you making up that lie? Like, that is not believable. I'm like, I legit went to jail, y'all. I don't know what y'all heard, but I went to jail. And I explained to her the situation. She was just so dumbfounded. She was just like, the whole time I was telling the story. But yeah, I had to check in my bail bondsman every week. And I couldn't drive. My license was suspended. I couldn't drive. So I had to give my sister my car for a couple weeks. Well, not a couple weeks, a couple months, y'all. A couple months. I couldn't drive my car. Literally, I got arrested in November. I don't think I got my license back until like February, maybe January, February of the next year, because I kept having to drive to Valdosta to go to court. And with Valdosta being so far away, I had to have somebody else drive me. So my ex usually would drive me, and I was driving every day. Not every day, but like it felt like every few weeks I had to go down there. He had to take me to work, pick me up from work. Like anything I was doing, he had to do that for me. So for months, I was going back. The first time I went back, they were just like, oh, you just need documentation stating that you didn't have court. Got that documentation, came back. Then they were like, so you got to pay this ticket. Pay that ticket. Came back. Then it was just a lot of mix up. So what happened was, with the cop that wrote me the initial ticket, he put the wrong address. So I never received. Y'all look. Bro, I just put this on. And makeup don't come out clothes very well. Hold on. So what happened was, the cop that wrote me the initial ticket, he ended up writing the address incorrectly. So it was my Valdosta street address, which is my permanent address on my at the time it was my permanent address on my driver's license, but he wrote Savannah as the state and the Savannah zip code. So whenever they rescheduled my court date, it didn't come to me. It came to somebody in Savannah. So I was never notified that my court date had changed, and because I didn't have an address in Savannah, they didn't have a record of me. So that was the reason why my license was suspended. That was the reason why I had failure to appear, had a warrant out for my arrest. and all of that. So when I found that out, I had to get the paperwork from the Savannah Municipal Court, and then I had to wait for my next court date in Valdosta to get them that paperwork. And then after they got that paperwork, they were just like, oh, sorry sis, you had to go through that. Your case has been dismissed. You just have to pay these court fees and you'll be good to go. Months just to get that information. Like the first few times they gave me documentation, it never had my address on it, so I never understood why, you know, I never knew that the court date had changed. And it was this last piece of paper, it was a piece of paper they had gave me. I'm not sure what it was at the time, but I kept having to go back, and I was like, this is not what I need. You know, do you have anything else stating like the original ticket, anything like that? And I legit I walked out the courthouse one day and I walked right back in. I was like, no, I need something else, because this is not gonna prove my point that I never received anything about a court date. So finally got that paperwork, finally took it to Valdosta, paid those fees, and then I was able to get my license reinstated for free since it wasn't my fault. But that was months of me not even getting a drive Delilah, months of inconvenience, honestly, months of inconvenience. It was a hot mess, a super hot mess. I never want to experience that ever again. I did have to get, one second. Sorry, had to take a phone call, and I honestly don't remember where I left off in the story. But overall, all in all, I was able to get my license reinstated. I was able to get my car back, and I was able to get my record clean. Going to jail, not for me, honestly. I can't do it, don't want to do it, don't want to be there. It's not for me. I'm a good girl, angel, ding. That's me. I never, ever want to go to jail. I never want to step in a jailhouse. None of that. It ain't for me. Never will be for me. If I ever say I went to jail, believe me, because I'm telling you the truth. But I'm too innocent for that. I can't. But yeah, that's it. That's my I got arrested story. If you like my story time, give me a thumbs up. I have a couple more I could share. Not too much. I don't do too much. But I do have a couple. So if you want to know about them, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on those notifications so that you know the next time I post another video. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you the next time. Peace.